Lately I've been messing around with young Link way more compared to my main adult Link, and he's getting better and better. Yeah, I know. They are both Links and they have a similar moveset, so they should play pretty identical, right? Wrong. While Link is the big boy standing in your way kicking everybody's ass, young Link is more like a fairy you're trying to catch and bottle up. A very fast fairy with projectiles that can combo you from anywhere across the stage and take the stock. In short, young Link is the combo heavy Link between the three, and I've been enjoying him a lot due to his seemingly endless combo freedom. And now I want to put him to the test in a tournament. The tournament of choice for this was TNJ Tuesday, and it had about 28 attendees, with players such as Joy Kong, a Donkey Kong main who is currently ranked first on the Northwest England power ranking, Nomic, a Lucas player some of you might remember from the Toon Link tournament run who has a crazy combo game and movement, and many more good players. Because of my seed, I already started in winners round 2 and had to wait for my first opponent, which didn't take too long. And with that, the tournament has begun. Yeah, why not? Why shouldn't I pick Final Destination this time? Winners round 2 started and my first opponent was Nines Ryuji playing Sonic. Longtime viewers know exactly how much I hate Final Destination due to it being a very polarizing stage, and in general I enjoy platforms in my platform fighter. But what if I told you that I actually picked this stage on purpose against Sonic? Nah, let's be real. There weren't really a lot of stages open, so my best bet was definitely FD against this hedgehog. Now, what might come to a surprise is that I actually enjoy playing the Sonic matchup in a tournament setting. There are a lot of matchups in this game which are fast paced, and that can drain your stamina. But when Sonic is on the field, I feel like I can just be a chill young Link and throw my projectiles. For me, there is no need to approach Sonic, when I can just throw my whole inventory at him, and Nines definitely had some trouble getting some percent in against me. It didn't take long and I was able to finish the first game with a solid 3-stock against Nines. Nice! I don't think we're staying on FD, honestly. Now after 3-stock you either say to yourself like, okay, it's either the stage or my character, and usually it's the stage. Game 2 she decided to go on Pokemon Stadium 2, which is in general a very neutral stage. And once again, I was standing there throwing everything at Nines. Because Sonic's advantage state can go a long way, especially offstage, I tried to play it very safe. Once I would be offstage, my stock might be gone due to Sonic's edge guarding and young Link's mediocre recovery. As you can see, I didn't really change my game plan against Nines, because why should I change it after I got a 3-stock in the first game? And this mindset also let me win game 2 with another 3-stock, only receiving 69%. A pretty nice start for a tournament run. GG's to Nines, it was a fun set. After this set, I was already in winner's quarter without losing a single stock so far. Winner's quarter started on Pokemon Stadium 2 against Nelly, who is playing Link. Now young Link vs Link can be a bit of an awkward matchup for young Link, because my arrows and boomerangs straight up lose against Link's massive neutral air. Furthermore, Link has more range and can easily outrange me. Link as well as young Link are characters who can vary a lot in their game style. You can play very defensive but also offensive Links, and the first stock we both tried to figure out how to really play this matchup. Should we play the camping game or should we play the offensive game? Oh, okay, wrong idea. In the end, I opted for getting Nelly into a bad position through my projectile usage, and wait for my opportunity to either get a hit in or a grab. There's also one move I have not talked about before which helped a ton in this matchup. Sear. Young Link's aerial hookshot compensates his lack of range, and on top of it, it is pretty fast. It doesn't have the best combo ability from far away compared to his other moves, but it still can lead to an opening, and an opening can lead to a combo. As you can see, the first game went heavily into my favor, and at the end I closed it out with a 2-stock. There we go, okay, 1-0. Game 2, Nelly decided to go to Kalos, which I honestly expected. I kept my game plan up from the first game and threw my projectiles on top of using the hookshot to outrange her Link, which worked phenomenal and the game quickly turned into my favor. But this was the end of me dominating the set. Nelly was able to find some cracks in my defense and found tiny openings little by little and was able to go on par throughout the entire game. She was able to corner me a ton and slowly but surely took my first stock. But then she gave me a nice present for my inventory, which I had to make use of, and finished off her second stock. On our next stocks, we traded blows after blows and we were already at kill percent again, but there was still a major difference. I had an entire stock advantage. Nelly's adaptation in game 2 definitely shined through. Unfortunately, she was an entire stock too late for the adaptation, and I was able to close out game 2 and move on to winner's semi against Nomic. GG's to Nelly, it was a fun set. Winner's Semi started on small battlefield against Nomic, who is playing Lucas. Nomic is a player who has incredibly good movement with Lucas and an insane combo game utilizing double jump cancel Sears, ledge cancels and more Lucas specific techniques. If you have ever fought against a movement heavy Lucas, you know how this is going. The good part about playing a character like Young Link against Lucas is that you can interrupt the movement with your arrow, boomerang, and even the Sear is doing a good job at outranging him. What is a relatively tough move to use against Lucas is the bomb, because Lucas can heal himself through that, which is not possible with the other projectiles. I still used my bomb, but I heavily implemented set drop bomb areas to mess Nomic up with my bomb throw timings, and if I didn't see an opening, I even threw away my bomb. But this was another layer of keeping them guessing. After a while, we saw ourselves both on our last stock, and I finished it off with one more down here, and we moved on to game 2. Nomic's stage of choice was Hollow Bastion, and now we only had one platform instead of two platforms, which limits my abilities to use B-Reverse Boomerang and Arrow off the platform in a wider range. And the big platform can serve as a protective shield against my projectiles as well, while Lucas Picafire can move straight under it and either hit me while I try to use my projectiles, or just blocks my own boomerangs and arrows. Overall, the stage pick was, in my opinion, really good against my playstyle, and I had to adjust a ton how I want to use my projectiles, and this game was pretty even until the very end. It was anyone's game at this point, but Nomic did one ill-advised rising forward air at the end, which I punished with my up smash out of shield, taking game 2 as well. But it's not over for Nomic, because every single set is a best of 5 from now on.
Now it's not over, but I only have to win one more game.
Game 3, Nomic decided to go on Hollow Bastion again, and I agree with this stage pick. It was closer than game 1 and a good choice against me. But I was also getting more comfortable playing on it, and slowly but surely got used to the Picafire usage of Nomic and how to stay out of range and avoid it. I was being more careful than in the previous games and found my openings between Lucas areas and the Picafires, which led to me having a huge lead against Nomic. At the end, I finished off the set with one more quick forward throw against Nomic, and I moved on to winner's final against Chaotix.
I did a fast throw here, because sometimes if you just do fast throws without the pummels, the DI is gonna get messed up. I knew that with pummeling it wouldn't kill anyway.
The winner's final against Chaotix, who plays Robin, started on Battlefield. Right from the get-go, I could tell that Chaotix likes to use Arcfire from a very far distance, which in general I wouldn't recommend against a lot of characters. But I played Young Link. Now here's the thing about projectile characters versus projectile characters. Usually when Robin uses an Arcfire, they have a ton of lag and a lot of characters can just avoid it and punish Robin for it like Fox. However, if I as a Young Link player use another laggy move like Boomerang and the Robin player reads it, then it can happen that the Arcfire hits me before my Boomerang gets even out. This is in general the complicated part about the projectile character matchup. It is all about punishing each other's startup of their projectiles. On top of that, Robin has a huge amount of range as soon as the Levin sword is out, which is a pain for Young Link to deal with close up. Not only Robin needs to watch out for their resource management, but also me to know when I can punish them. The last stock was absolutely crazy, and at this point it could have been anyone's game. But at the end, game 1 didn't go as planned and I lost my first game in this entire tournament. Game 2, I decided to go on Hollow Bastion. Oh, look who's suddenly comfortable on the stage with Young Link. That's right, it's me. I've seen the Arcfire usage of Chaotix on Battlefield, and they often used it on the side platforms to use ladder combos or hit me from afar. While I didn't like the idea of going to Final Destination because of Robin's neutral B, I thought maybe just a middle platform would be neat to limit the Arcfire usage. Meanwhile, I was also being more careful to not get hit by more projectiles and really camp more. I felt that I didn't win the close quarter combat because of Levin sword, or that I just get zoned out. So, projectiles it is. This game was really way better for me, and the Hollow Bastion pick worked out as I closed out game 2 with one final F smash and bringing the set back to an even position.
That is tough, that's a good Robin.
Game 3, Chaotix went on Pokemon Stadium 2, and they were not joking around this time. We were both seeing ourselves on 2 stocks, and Chaotix's advantage state is absolutely insane with this character, as I suddenly went down in an instant and was one entire stock behind. Yeah, sure, I made some mistakes here and there, but advantage is all about capitalizing off of your opponent's mistakes, which Chaotix did. Now this was a tough mountain to climb if I don't want to lose game 3. I had to play near perfectly to turn this game around from this position, and I don't know how to explain it. But on Pokemon Stadium 2, suddenly something clicked. I was able to read every single move of Chaotix, air dodges, landings, movement, everything, and brought this game around in an instant. And while I'm at it, I want to point something out. This whole advantage state started from this move, a simple Seer. It took one Seer to start the mountain climbing, and I did not stop there and kept playing like the fierce deity possessed young Link and won the game with one final F smash. And this stat I'm going to show you is absolutely bonkers to me. I took 2 entire stocks, while only receiving 33% from a losing position. I'm now in the driver's seat and only have to win one more game to move on to Grand Finals. Game 4, Chaotix picked Small Battlefield, which is a good stage for Robin. They definitely had enough of my young Link, and Chaotix found an early opening against me and kept the advantage until I lost my entire stock. I was in a huge deficit, but this time it was different compared to Game 3, and I wasn't able to keep Chaotix in a disadvantageous position to get back into the game. Instead, I had to slowly get more chip damage in with my projectiles, which also worked out this time. I was just playing super careful to not get hit by any of Robin's projectiles. I didn't want Chaotix to extend the lead too much. Now, we were both on 2 stocks again, and all I can tell you is that Chaotix mix-ups and advantage state are probably the highlight. I have never seen a Robin player getting one opening and keeping me so long in such a bad spot that I lose my stock. Fortunately enough, Chaotix already had a ton of percent and I was able to quickly answer back. Fast forward and we both found ourselves in the last stock lasted scenario, and we both threw everything at each other in the hopes of closing out the game. Chaotix threw me off stage and I threw the book back at them to avoid a ledge trap. It was getting more intense as we both found openings but immediately answered back until I finally found a close bomb throw that I converted into a forward air, closing out Game 4. GG's to Chaotix. Your Robin is insane.
Holy shit, what a tough Robin. Oh my god.
I was now sitting in Grand Finals on the winner's side waiting for my opponent, and it is the player I have talked about before earlier, Choi Kong, the Donkey Kong player. Let's get this dub home.
Okay, then it's grand final time. Let's go.
The set against Choi Kong started on Hollow Bastion and the match began as you all probably have imagined. Young Link as a projectile zoner is more than capable of keeping Donkey Kong out of his comfort zone the whole time. And top that off with Young Link's incredible combo game, it is really hard for Donkey Kong to chill and find an opening. And that's why the first stock was already heavily in my favor, until Choi Kong found one opening and completely destroyed it. While Young Link has a good neutral and good advantage against Donkey Kong. The main issue is still that Donkey Kong can kill you pretty fast and has a good combo game as well. Donkey Kong mains know that they have to play the long game and wait for the opportunity to arise to find the stock. And this was all Choi Kong's plan. Find a crack in my defense and punish me for it. And sooner or later, we found ourselves both on our last stock. And Choi Kong was able to cargo grab me and throw me off stage. But I barely survived and immediately pulled a bomb to increase my chances of recovering. And then Choi Kong made a huge mistake.
Ooh! Ooh!
This was complete luck on my part. Let's move on to Game 2. Game 2 was again on Hollow Bastion, and it was another one of those even games between Choi Kong and me. I found my Young Link combos against Choi Kong and he found his Donkey Kong combos against me. We basically skipped the first stock as we both moved on to the second stock with 0%. I was feeling very comfortable with only 50% on my stock, but unfortunately I felt too comfortable and suddenly Choi Kong took that all away with a giant punch. I'm telling you guys, Donkey Kong loses against Young Link, but when he gets his one opening, he just obliterates your stock. That's why it's so scary to play against the monkey. It was a tough mountain to climb, but I was able to bring it back and we both found ourselves on our last stock again. It was not really looking good for me as I was already at high percent. But then I found an opening after a missed grounded up special from Choi Kong, and from there on out, I was showing what Young Link can do against a heavy character like Donkey Kong, and brought him from the right side of the stage all the way to the left, and at the end, I disrupted the recovery attempt of Choi Kong and was able to close out Game 2. I only needed to win one more game to win the tournament. Let's do this. Choi Kong picked Hollow Bastion again, but now I was in go mode and wanted to end the tournament as fast as possible. No more Game 4s or Game 5s or a bracket reset. I just wanted to end this tournament as quickly and safe as possible. And with that mindset, I found the first stock against Choi Kong with a drag down forward air into up smash and had only 65% on me. Choi Kong was able to find a backer to get me off stage and tried to edgeguard me, but missed the attempt, so as a Young Link player, with my trusty bomb in my hand, I did what I could do best. I reversaled the attempt with my up special and the bomb helped me recovering to spin the monkey again and again off stage, until I was 2 stocks ahead. But I wasn't 2 stocks ahead for long though, as Joy-Con quickly took my first stock right after. And at this point in time, Joy-Con had to overcome a stock deficit against Young Link, which is pretty hard as a character such as Donkey Kong. And I did everything I could to not leave myself open for any attacks, and used my projectiles to disrupt Joy-Kong's movement or potentially combo off of them, and damn did I combo off of them. And it did not take long to find the final opening and finish the tournament in style with one last bomb fair drag down into down smash to knock Donkey Kong into the blast zone and win the entire tournament. GG's to Joy-Con, you have an insane Donkey Kong.
Let's be fair, it's DK versus Young Link, and for that, Joy-Con did a fucking amazing job.
Throughout the entire tournament, I only dropped 1 game, which was against Chaotix, and I almost dropped another game against Joy-Con in Game 1 of Grand Finals. Overall, I'm feeling very confident with Young Link now, and honestly, I think it is time to drop the Fierce Deity mask and move on to a new chapter. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the tournament run. If so, feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe. I see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.